When your country's going communist, but you still want to look tactical, I got the gun for you.
What's up, guys, gals, and of course, like always, my favorite modern caveman. Today, we're finally back. I apologize for not being around the last couple months, but if you haven't noticed, the world's been a little bit crazy. So our gun ranges and a lot of different things have shut down because of COVID, so it hasn't been really ideal situation getting filming done or reviews. So I'm hoping we're back in town now and we're ready to rock and we can play with some guns. Okay. So as you guys saw, today we're reviewing another 1895, but it's in a series that, how should I put it? More requests than any other that I've had on the channel so far. And that is the Dark Series. And this time we have it in one of the new releases, not new calibers, but new releases in the 444 Marlin. So it's actually a round I've never shot before next to the ones that I put down here. So I got some pretty cool feedback on that as well. But before we go into that, first things first, this gun was provided to me by Italian Sporting Goods. Thank you so much, guys. One of my favorite stores. They give me the ammunition, they let me borrow the guns, and it allows me to do an honest review to you guys. So thank you big time to Italian Sporting Goods. Reach out to them for any of your firearms needs here in British Columbia or across Canada. Okay, let's dive in to the 1895 Marlin in 444 Dark Series.
All right, well, let's try this beauty out. So I'm at, let's see here, 48 yards, so just around 50 yards. Gonna try open sight. First time shooting this gun. First time shooting a 444, to be honest. Shot everything else, so excited. Let's give it a try. Awesome. Not a bad little shot, not sighted in. Never tried it out before. There's a 4-round group, a little bit low, freehand. Don't have my glasses on. I'll come up with a bunch of more excuses. But shot really nice, pretty smooth, cycled nice. Not a bad little group to begin with an open sight at 50 yards. Let's try it again. So I'm out at 100 yards, kind of like a realistic hunting situation. Don't want to freehand it. There's a big stick. So let's see if we can stable it up a little bit. Get the groups a little bit better than 50 yards. With freehand, who knows? Let's take a look, see how it shoots. Well, there's a bullseye in there somewhere.
So first off, I'm gonna start, you know what? I'm gonna start with the round itself, the 444 Marlin. It's the first time that I've ever actually had a chance to fire it. I've had some time to research the ballistics on it. I'm an old true fashion favorite of the 4570, but the 444's got a lot going for it. So as you guys can see, I got a couple of the young bucks that are probably 100 pounds soaking wet to try out the 444 Marlin. They've shot the 4570 before as well, and the recoil management on this caliber is, I would say, significantly better. So, you know, in my personal opinion, this caliber will pretty much drop anything in North America anyways. So if you're looking for something a little bit less recoil, it is a little bit lighter hitting, but it's flatter shooting over the long run. Maybe not in the 16¼ inch barrel like we're gonna talk about now, but overall the caliber itself is pretty cool. Just a couple different comparisons I pulled up. So a 4570 with a 325 grain bullet, muzzle velocity of about 2,050 feet per second. The 444 Marlin with a 265 grain bullet, so smaller bullet, is traveling about 2325. So overall, when you're doing the comparisons, generally speaking, out at that 200 yards, you're gonna have about 3 to 4 inches flatter shooting with a 444 versus a 4570. But obviously, you're losing a little bit of that in the grain size of your caliber. Anyways, that aside, I'm not going to go into all the ballistics, but it's definitely something new and interesting. If you're maybe not, maybe a little bit trigger shy and you're worried about the kick or the push that the 4570 has, but you still want to be able to knock down, in my opinion, anything, take a look at the 444 and give it a try. I say probably the only downside of the 444, the availability. It's a little bit more of an expensive round. You're not going to find it at your mom and pop shops all the time, whereas the 4570 is pretty tried and true, and you can find it anywhere else that you can find a 3030 pretty much. Okay, so let's get into the actual gun itself. So Marlin came out with the Dark Series and has a few different versions. So it's got the 1895 and the 444 Marlin and the 4570. It also has the 336, which they're all kind of based off of anyways, in the 3030 Winchester. And then it also recently came out with, which I'm going to talk about later, and we might have a review coming up, the 1894. And that comes in the 357, which obviously shoots 38 special, as well as the 44 mag that shoots the 44 special as well. So that's kind of cool if you're into that handgun cartridges. If you got that in a revolver, you have the availability of that. So I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison, and this isn't a comparison video, but if you're going to be spending your hard-earned money, I've seen these are roughly about $200 to $300 less MSRP, depending on where you're shopping here in Canada or the States, compared to the 1895 SBL guide gun. And I'm going to go over the comparisons, a lot of the similarities, differences, why you might spend $200 or $300 more on this versus the other, and why it just might not be worth upgrading or getting something like this. All right. So first things first. Let's do front to back, because we all like it like that. All right, at the very front, the barrel itself is going to be a carbon parkerized barrel. So the parkerized protection on that is going to basically save scuffs, bush wear, etc., etc. But this is a carbon steel, guys. So that being said, you scratch this, there is a possibility of rusting definitely versus the stainless steel. A couple of the cool things and features that it has, obviously it's got a threaded barrel. For you, those of you that are a little bit worried, and it's got a protector on it that comes with it, those of you that are worried about the kick, you can put a muzzle brake on here, flash hider, and for those of you in free countries, you can also put a can/suppressor on it, which is kind of cool. That would be a lot of fun, a lot of blinking. So the barrel itself is 16¼ inches long. So it's a little, it's shorter than the SBL, which is 18½ inches. But overall, it feels great in the arms, very compact. You're running, it's about a pound lighter. It's approximately 7 pounds, whereas the SBL is going to be 8 pounds, so it's lighter on that side as well. As I mentioned, this looks like it's synthetic, but it's actually a wood stock that's been painted to kind of give you that whole black theme. You got the excess mounting rail and open sights, ghost ring sights. As you can see when I was shooting, it was very easy and very quick to line those sights up. I mean, I would never have these sights if you're looking for something to be incredibly precise, because at the end of the day, it is a big open loop on the back. That being said, 50, 100 yards, bear, deer, I'm 100% confident shooting that. And you can see, the first time you guys see me there shooting, it's the first time shooting out of the box. I didn't sight it, I didn't change it, straight from the factory kind of thing. And we put a pretty decent set of group at 50 yards freehand, right? So that's the whole point of this. It's a bushwhacking firearm that I would say it's nicer than a truck gun, but it's really meant to be in the bush. It looks amazing and cool. And yeah, it comes with a couple other features that we'll get into. So like I said, excess rails, you got your sights there, wood painted, parkerized steel. So one of the cool things about this is they put paracord on it, pretty much all over it. Gives you, and just to let everybody know, one of the viewers pointed out, yes, I prove safe all the guns before we open up, but just to check, it's completely open, safe, we're good to go. Nothing in there. But they put the paracord, which you're never gonna have that bite on, which is kind of nice. The sling itself is made out of paracord. So I guess like worst case scenario, you're in the bush, lost, you can put together a tree fort or something. I don't know. You probably know better than I do. But it's kind of cool. It's got that tactical feeling, especially for, like I mentioned before, almost communist countries like my own. This is kind of a cool change to have and something to play around with, which is non-restricted, and you don't have to worry about, you know, anybody coming. So if you're in California, this is probably something that would be right up your alley as well. So all in all, just to give you a little bit of a review on how it shoots, it feels amazing as far as compactness. It is 2 inches shorter. It is a pound lighter. This particular one has less recoil, obviously. So if you're looking for something that is a little bit more manageable to shoot versus the 1895 in the SBL, and maybe something a little bit less pretty, you don't feel like it's going to be an issue banging up as much, this is something to look at. So here they go, these go as high as $1,400 and something. The upside of these, they're stainless steel, you know, laminated stock. Pretty much the rest of the stuff, the big loop and all that stuff is pretty much identical. It's 2 inches longer, pound heavier. Couple of the things that you might be a detriment to you is that these ones are 6+1, so you can hold 7 rounds. Where these in the smaller chamber, because they are shorter, they have the shorter barrel to match, these are only 4+1. So it's quite a bit less. All right, so new year, we gotta check out some new things. Thanks Max for getting this for me for my birthday, but I got myself a trigger pull. So first off, let's ghost this. Let's just see what it looks like and feels like tactically, and I'll, anyways. And I'll compare it against the other one as well. Yeah, that's really nice. As I'm sure you guys are aware, there's really no creep in any of these, but yeah, feels really good. Okay. Comparatively, let's feel that. Very similar. Yeah. When you pull it, it goes off. So zero creep on it. It's just a hard wall right there at the beginning. Let's see how many pounds it actually is. So I got roughly on the first one, 5 1/4 pounds. Yeah, that was about 5 1/2. So you're looking at about 5 1/4, 5 1/2 pound pull. Not bad whatsoever as a comparison, because why not? Haven't done it on this one yet. Yeah, so this one's a little bit lighter. It's about 4 1/2. Yeah, a little bit lighter, 4 1/2 pound trigger. So if that's something that's important to you, I'm sure you can adjust all these anyways. But the SBL, my personal SBL is about 4 1/2 pounds. And this guy is about 5 1/4. Still not too shabby, nice and crisp. No issues whatsoever with it. Like I said, if you guys see me cycling it, it feels really good. So I guess if I were to pick one of these, or what would be the reason to choose this over that, if you don't care about stainless steel, you're gonna make sure you take care of, and if you scratch it, you're gonna reparkerize it, whatever it may be. You want something a little bit shorter. A pound makes a big difference when you're hiking in the bush. I would definitely look at one of these. It's really cool looking, extremely comfortable, makes total sense. Pretty much all the benefits that you get out of, you know, the 1895 guide gun, SBL, ABL, whichever version you get with this, right? Very similar to the Trapper feel. The only downsides, like I said, is that it's not stainless. To me, it's not as pretty. So myself, I'm not gonna be buying this again in 444 or 45 Marlin. So this is a loaner, like I mentioned. And the only reason is because I already have the guide gun, the 1895 SBL. But what I will do is, actually what I have done, it's ordered and on its way, prepared for review. I'm gonna get one of these guys in the 1894, 38 Special, and 357. Because if I can save a little bit of money and still look amazing and feel great, this is gonna be amazing, especially in a little smaller caliber, just for plinking. This is gonna be so much fun. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for being a part of another video. I can't wait to do some more. I'm hoping we're gonna go back to once a week. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know. Leave the comments below. This is a gun I would highly recommend picking up if you're looking for that. For the $200 or $300 difference, really the practicality of what you're gonna be using these two firearms for is pretty much the exact same. So if you want something that's a little bit maybe better looking, stainless, whatever, go for this guy. You're not gonna be disappointed like the video I had before. If you want something a little bit more compact, but rugged looking, very cool to use, feels good, right? This is probably the guy for you. Definitely, or maybe you can put a can or whatever it is. I would definitely recommend it. Anyways, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next video.